Alabama took some huge steps getting ready for kickoff coming up in a couple of weeks this weekend in Tuscaloosa. Scrimmage on Saturday, fan day, which turned out to be a practice on Sunday, off today, but we're going to talk about a couple key position groups. First off, what happened Sunday? And secondly, you better keep an eye on the tight ends. I think Alabama's going to surprise some people in that area. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Let's get this party started with a big, huge Roll Tide. There he is. Show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Get in the comments section. Be part of what we're doing. And I'm going to tell you guys this. Brett and I both appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with us. And everywhere Brett goes, people come up to him and say, I know you. You're Big Sexy Elmo. You're Big Sexy Elmo from the Bama Tailgate Show. Roll Tide.
Met two this weekend in Jasper. It was great.
You're the king of Jasper.
That's a big role to fill, you know.
Well, yeah, but look, I like your beard. Growing a beard now. You're looking good. Wise man with beard.
Yeah. That's the whole thought of it. I'll probably shave it off later today.
No, I'd say let it go. Let's see how long we can do this.
Okay.
Actually, it's pretty full. I mean, it's filling in. I like it. All right. Can I call you Brett, or do I?
Just call me Brett if you don't mind, Mick.
All right, thanks, buddy. Bama football practice, scrimmage on Saturday. We talked a little bit about that. And then Sunday, they had fan day, which is pretty cool. And that was at Bryant-Denny. People got to go out and watch. And it wasn't like the intense practice that they had on Saturday, but they had pads on. They're out there playing some football. Your thoughts on fan day?
It's just fan day, just a little practice. And you're right. It's something good coming off that first scrimmage of the year. The guys, have some, fans in the stadium and get to show off a little bit and get in front of a crowd. A Sunday afternoon, just kind of throwing around the football and getting in some drill time. But I heard they had a great crowd, and I'm sure that everyone had a good time.
Yeah, one of the things, Brett, that we always worry about when you scrimmage, you don't want anyone getting hurt. Alabama hasn't had that. They did have some of their starting offensive guards not do drills on Sunday, Tyler Booker, Jaden Roberts. So the offensive line first team was Parker Brailsford at center. That's what it's going to be. That's why he transferred to Alabama. Caden Proctor and Wilkin Formby left and right tackles. Then remember Gino Vandermark when he transferred in, he was at left guard, and Rock Montgomery was at right guard with the first team. So that's how the offensive line stacked up. But when you talk about this position group, I feel like it's going to be the strongest position group for Alabama. And it's really interesting the way that they're kind of, switching guys in and out at spots. Elijah Pritchard's another guy. Remember, he was going to transfer, and he didn't. He stayed, and he was on the second team. Miles McVay, left tackle. You had William Sanders out there, Joseph Ionetta, Casey Poe. I mean, that's like, and then those two guys out. But I think I really believe that you nail all of these guys. You see them coming in and out. That this is the strongest position group on the field. I just love this offensive line group, and I love what Coach Cap's doing with these guys. They just seem motivated. They seem like they're enjoying working with each other, and I think it's a big deal to have a good offensive line.
Yeah, didn't Washington have the best offensive line in the country last year?
Yeah.
And we've we've talked about it, before it all starts there at the line of scrimmage. And I too like how they're switching folks around and getting them used to playing different spots, because you never know what's going to happen injury-wise. And I have to say, the offensive line looks really good, but so does the defensive line. They've been getting a lot of praise, and yesterday during the drill, you had Latham, Keenan, Oates, and Robinson. They're playing on the defensive side of the line of scrimmage. So that's a strong group as well. You have to win up front, man.
Yeah. Yep. And another thing too, guys, is as I talk tight ends, don't forget Cover Crimson on YouTube. I'm going to be on there with Clint Lamb today and every day. I think we're going on at noon and we're going to do a live show. But one of the things that I got from him is I talked some tight ends with him, and then that kind of piqued my interest. And I start thinking about, like, what are we looking at with the tight end spot, right? The Y position, CJ Dippre, the transfer from Maryland, had some plays last year. We're going to see a lot more of him, though, because Nyblack transferred to Texas. Danny Lewis and Jay Lindsay are the other guys in that spot. And then the H spot with Josh Cuevas, who is the guy that transferred from Washington, 270, 6'4". You feel like that he's going to be blocking some, but the guy can also catch the football as well. And he's been turning a lot of heads in practice in these scrimmages and stuff. Like, the guy can catch and he can play a little bit of football. And I've always loved Robbie Ouzts. I thought when Alabama started to click last year at the end of the season, I kept saying, you got to be creative. I mean, how many times did we say that about last year's football team? Got to be creative. They started to be creative, and all of a sudden you get Robbie Ouzts with a catch, and then he's out in space and he's like bulldozing dudes over, right? So I like those big guys that can move, that also punish you for trying to tackle.
Right. That tight end position you're talking about, I mentioned this, a couple months ago. I always love to see when you utilize that tight end. We've had some great ones play for us over the years, and you utilize that tight end. We saw that during the scrimmage on Saturday. Tight end getting some passing yards, interested to see how we get creative in using the tight end and some of the other weapons we have there on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah, it's really fun when you get guys that know how to do offense,
Right.
And as crazy as the stories were about Lane Kiffin off the field, on the field, his ability to call plays and dissect defenses and get players in space was awesome. And it's exciting to kind of, look at what this new coaching staff should be able to do, because that's what they're known for.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you had a coach like Saban, who was a defensive genius, and now you've got a totally opposite situation there with DeBoer.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're looking at right now. Some other, I guess, really just nuggets if you weren't at Fan Day. Ryan Williams, Hollywood, we're seeing him. Jermaine Bernard, another guy who kind of plays in that same slot role, but two guys to keep an eye on. I just love the fact that Ryan Williams is out there at under 180 pounds, should be a senior in high school.
Yeah.
He makes plays, man. I mean, I got a feeling that this guy's going to be like Julio, where they're going to him pretty early in maybe the first game. We're going to see him make some plays.
Yeah. Going to be fun to watch, man. And also a little nugget, as you say, because we talked about this, day before yesterday?
Yeah.
The kicking game. Nicholson attempted 3 field goals in a drill with a full team of blockers, nailed all 3.
So. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard people were worried about the kicking game.
Yeah.
Slow your roll, guys. And the wide receivers, by the way, let me restate, just because I don't think I was very clear with that. Ryan Williams, Jermaine Bernard, and then Cole Adams was the slot guy. And then another group that we saw out there was Kobe Prentice in the slot, Emmanuel Henderson, and Kendrick Law. And so, there was just different groups out there, Williams, Bernard, Prentice. I mean, like, just different, but I love it. I love it. And it's fun watching those guys. And it was fun watching Mbakwe and Mincy out there on the other side, 5-star guys, the way they move, the way they look, doing their thing. So off today, back at it again tomorrow, and football's coming, man. I mean, we're less than 3 Saturdays now. We're 2 Saturdays away from Alabama kicking off in Tuscaloosa against Western Kentucky, if you can believe that.
I can't believe it.
I know you can't. It's coming fast.
It's almost here.
It is almost here.
It's almost like Christmas.
It's almost like paradise.
Yeah, man, that's great.
All right, Brett, you're going to take over the show in just a minute. But before you bounce out of here, and but what Brett normally does is when he comes on, it's going to be he's bringing the intensity. So what he does is he goes back behind the scenes. He goes to the couch. He kind of says a quick prayer, slaps his face, pours water on his head, and then when he comes back, he's ready to go.
That's right. That's what I do every single day for this show. I love it.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa. It's got they've got a sports book, Vegas style. You can go bet on Alabama legally. You've got the Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, and if you go to Golden Moon and you go to the Timeout Sports Lounge and you put some money down, $50 gets you round the golf at Dancing Rabbit for $40. And people call it the Augusta You Can Play. It's really a great course. You got the water park, Geyser Falls. You got the spa. You got all those things. Table games and slots at Silver Star and Golden Moon. We hang out there. I'm going to be there noon on Wednesday, the 21st, with Steve Azar, the country singer. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're in the area, come by and say hi to us. I'll get into more detail on that coming up. But we appreciate Pearl River Resort. You guys will as well. Go check them out. And don't forget, right now is the time when you can get this calendar. This is the last day. We're going to switch the promo. But I want to throw it up there one last day. If you like autographs and you're a fan of Daniel Moore's art, then this is a must-have for you. I've got mine right here behind me. It's right on the floor. He signed it, and I think it's so cool because he's one of the best. And mine just has Nick Saban. I don't even have all the other Nick Sabans around him. But this is the 2025 Fine Art calendar. Everybody loves this calendar. These are keepsakes. If you use the promo code Bama Tailgate when you buy the calendar, he signs it. Come sign. That's all you got to do. Just use the promo code Bama Tailgate. And this is going to be the last day of it. So if you want it, take advantage of it right now because we're going to find something else for you starting tomorrow. So starting on Tuesday. All right. When I come back from this quick timeout, I'm going to be joined by the one, the only Big Sexy.
Escape to Pearl River Resort. They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XPs, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
Yes, indeed. The 12th day of August, 2024. And on this day in history, Mick, we look at celebrity birthdays. George Hamilton is 85 today.
George Hamilton? That's not Luke Skywalker, is it?
No. He was in The Godfather Part 3. He was in Doc Hollywood. Okay.
Oh yeah, I know who this is. Look,
yeah.
I'm just gonna put Wikipedia up here just while you're doing this. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
We know this guy.
That's George Hamilton there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Pete Sampras, you know him, tennis player, 53 today.
Yep. He was good, man. I mean, like Pete was for a while there was one of the best.
Casey Affleck is 49 today. That is the brother of Ben Affleck.
I don't know him, but I was going to say that Pete Sampras was the number 1 player in the world for a while.
Yeah, he was.
It was him and Andre Agassi. Remember him and Andre Agassi?
Andre Agassi, yeah, that was a big feud there.
Yeah, okay.
They would go back and forth being number 1 players in the country, in the world. Yeah. I was sitting the other night on a Saturday and minding my own business at an establishment watching a football game. And this kid walks up and he looks at me. He says, "I didn't know they played football in the Olympics." And I said, "I didn't either. This is NFL preseason football. Scram, kid." And anyway,
you would do that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Geez, stupid ass kids. Casey Affleck, yeah, he's the brother of Ben Affleck, but yeah, he was in like American Pie, and he was in Ocean's 11 and 12 and 13, and anyway, you probably know him if you see him. He sort of looks like Ben Affleck because they're brothers. But a better one here. We got 2 musicians celebrating a birthday that I know you love. Number 1, and we talked about him kind of the other day, I think, Dire Straits. Mark Knopfler, the guitarist, leader of Dire Straits, 75 today.
Yeah, great stuff, man. I mean, that was like some of my baseball music right there.
Yeah.
The Walk of Life, which I always imagined that song was about Willie Mays, at Birmingham's Willie Mays, like just hearing that or just thinking about it, like, and I don't know. I mean, it might not have even been about that, but always was to me. It was like on my baseball mixtapes.
Yeah.
And they're great. I may listen to them after the show.
Good, yeah. And you can mix it in with a little bit of Sir Mix-a-Lot is 61 today.
Baby's got back, man.
Yeah, baby got back.
I know Sir Mix-a-Lot. He was out there. It was like him and Digital Underground. Like you remember Digital Underground and the Humpty Dance? There were a lot of songs coming out about stuff back then,
like I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Right. Yeah. Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump. You remember that?
Right. There you go. Today's holidays, if you're looking for something to celebrate, some great things today. National Vinyl Record Day.
Well, I've got vinyl, man. And I got the record player as a gift, but not for me. And I just didn't want to take over because I'm such a music guy, man, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep like 4 or 5 records, and that's what I've really stuck to that. They take up a lot of space, but there's still nothing better than putting on a record and listening to it. At Christmas time, we got most of our records are Christmas or Elvis, and so both of those are fine. I like. Obviously, Steely Dan. I got some Steely Dan records. They're cool. The Dead, you can't do the records. It doesn't work. They're too long of songs.
Yeah.
But Pink Floyd, great record. Yeah. Great record. Yeah. Dark Side of the Moon, amazing. Yep. Amazing record.
Another day.
Do you have vinyl?
Yeah, I've got my
Your dad had a collection.
Yeah, I've got my dad's collection. Yeah, I've got my dad's collection, and they're worth a lot more because it's and you've been in the business, you'll know. You would get promotional copies through the mail.
Mm-hmm.
The record labels would mail you a promo copy of the record, and I've still got promo CDs, but those are worth a whole lot more.
Really?
Yeah. My dad's collection are probably 99% radio promos.
I'd love to go through and see what he's got.
Yeah, you're not coming near my dad's record. No, you're more than welcome to browse anytime. Today is also Baseball Fans Day. I salute you, Mick.
That's what I got my hat on, but this isn't a baseball hat, even though
Yeah.
that's actually
Baseball Fans Day is today.
Yeah, I've been a baseball fan my entire life. Love the game. Spent my life around the game. It's not as good now as it used to be, but still, you can count me in on that group. Plus, Brett, I didn't talk about it on here, but I think you brought it up maybe yesterday, but I broadcasted a baseball game and tried to eat 9 hot dogs and 9 beers in 9 innings, and I failed horribly. Well, then yesterday my stomach really made me pay the price. Often in the bathroom. Yeah, not a good idea all the way around.
Yeah, I felt sorry for you. But you know, as the old saying used to go, if you're going to be dumb, you better be tough.
Yeah, it's true.
So
I've heard that before. Doesn't apply to me.
Today's also, it's almost like Father's Day to a lot of you watching. Maybe it's Milkman Day.
Yeah, except
the old milkman would pop in, and you know, Dad might have been at work.
Funniest Chappelle Show skit was
God.
the one where he's the milkman. I'm not going to say anything else about it, but if you like Chappelle, that right there is a funny skit.
Yeah. And also, big Bama fan, it is World Elephant Day.
Yeah. Elephants, great animals, really smart, big. And the story of the elephant. Why is Alabama's mascot an elephant? It was on the chests that they used to use when they would go out west to play in the big Rose Bowl games, or the teams out west. They have those elephant cases, and they adopted it as a logo, as a mascot.
Oh, wow. Learning all kinds of stuff here today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you didn't know that?
I think I've heard that story.
Okay.
Either that or you're lying, which is a good line.
No, I'm serious. That's what
I know you are. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm trying to look and see if there's anything interesting happen this day. Speaking of baseball fans day, this and my dad too. This was the day that my dad ended his relationship with Major League Baseball.
No, they went on strike.
Yep. And after that day, he never. He was a big Braves fan, and he would watch them pretty much every day. When they went on strike, I remember it, and he said, "I'll never watch another game again." And buddy, he didn't. He was done with them.
That's sad too.
Yep. The strike went on for 234 days.
There's never enough money for the players union and the owners. You know, I mean, and the players have the best deal ever, guaranteed contracts. I mean, no other business gives anybody a guaranteed contract, you know, based on what you did the year before. And it really has, you know, the players need to have some protection, but not where, you know, you look at what Chris Bryant's done. I love Chris, but you know, him and Javi got these big contracts, and then they stink now. I mean, they're terrible, but the teams are stuck with that, and it's a lot of money, and there really isn't a lot of production, you know. And it's not just them, but I mean, it's just in general in the you know, the sport. So that's not fair. It's not fair to the fans, and it makes baseball bad, you know.
Yeah, and also in 1994, as many as 250,000 people attended the first day of a 3-day Woodstock 94 concert in New York, marking the 25th anniversary of the original Woodstock back in '69.
Can't recreate what happened in '69. You know, it just didn't work. But '69 was like the Grateful Dead played. It was like one of the worst sets they ever had. But there were a lot of other bands that played. It was like iconic. And then they went and did it again, and it was like,
But anyway,
I'd rather go see Rock the South. I'd rather go see Jelly Roll at Rock the South.
There you go. Yeah. Jelly Roll will be back through Birmingham coming up at the end of the year.
So is that it?
That's it. That's a look at this day in history.
Roll Tide, everybody. We'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.